These are the plaintiffs, Tracy Jeffress and her husband, Carl. Tracy says they loaned the defendant, Carl's son, money for his wedding, and her deadbeat son-in-law is stiffing them and not paying them back. She took the money from her daughter's college fund, for crying out loud. They can't believe the defendant's acting like a spoiled brat and are suing him in this court for the hard-earned $2,000 they loaned him. This is the defendant, Anwar Jeffress. He says his father, the plaintiff, was a deadbeat dad and felt bad about it, so he gave him some money for his bachelor party, not his wedding. This lawsuit was filed because Tracy, his dad's new wife, became irate over a family photo that was posted on Facebook, which she wasn't in. She declared she was going to seek revenge on the family, and this lawsuit is her lame attempt at just that. He's accused of causing a family rift.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff loaned his son money for a wedding and he stiffed him. But the defendant says his dad was a deadbeat and felt so bad he gave him the loot. It's the case of with this ring, we do sue.
Okay, Jeffries and Jeffries, you are suing Jeffries and Jeffries. We're keeping it all in the family today for $2,000 that you say was a loan that he refuses to repay. All right, let's specify the dynamics here. You are his father.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are his wife.
Yes.
So you're his stepmother.
Yes.
How long have you been in the picture?
4 years.
Okay. So what happens here?
It was in early June of 2016. And Mr. Jeffress asked Mr. Jeffress for a $2,000 loan. On July 20th, we had this Mr. Jeffress sign a promissory note.
You could just call them by their first names.
Okay, thank you. And
what did he want the loan for?
Something to do with the wedding.
The wedding was when?
The wedding was in September, but it had nothing to do with the wedding.
What day was the wedding?
28th.
If you don't know your anniversary in your first year when you're still honeymoon, what day? September
the
what?
18th.
Well, you better be right. Was it the 18th? Okay, good. All right, so go ahead.
So we asked Anwar to sign a promissory note to repay us the money. There had been a lot of inbox messages going back and forth, explaining that we really had to have the money back. So he did sign the promissory note.
And by when was he going to have it back?
By October 31st.
In full?
Yes.
No interest?
Right.
Okay. And then...
And so we had to come up with a cashier's check. Well, we decided to come up with a cashier's check to Dreams Come True Travel.
Okay.
So that led us to believe it was for the honeymoon, but we don't really know.
Okay. So, and what actually was it for? Your stag party? Your bachelor party?
Yes, ma'am.
So Dreams Come True Travel was your Dreams Come True bachelor party?
Made my dream come true.
Okay. Oh, all right. Oh, well, you're going to get into trouble with that, even though you remembered the anniversary date. Where's your wife? Why wouldn't she be here?
She just wanted nothing to do with it because it was a loan that was to me before we were even married.
That way. Right.
Before we were even married.
Yeah. All right. So did you borrow money for your bachelor party? Why didn't you just have a bachelor party here? Why did you go to Vegas? Why not? Why not? Did she know about the money you were borrowing for a bachelor party?
My wife?
Yeah.
No.
Does she know now?
Yeah.
All right. So according to you, there is a promissory note. Where did you folks get the $2,000?
I had to take it from my daughter's college money that I had put aside.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did he know that?
Yes.
No.
It's in a text message.
Can I see the text messages? And you said there was a promissory note for me to see?
Sure.
Am I going to see a promissory note that you signed?
You may see something.
I may see something? So what's your defense?
It's my dad. I needed him. I called on him. He's supposed to be there. He's never been there for anything before, ever.
Never?
Never.
Never, ever?
Never, ever.
So why did you feel comfortable asking him for money if he's never, ever been around?
Well, we were mending our relationship. Tracy came into the picture and changed his life and made him somewhat of a better man.
Okay.
I can honestly say that. And, I can tell he wanted to mend his relationship with me as well because it's always been rocky.
Okay.
And when I called, he was there.
Right, but it's not. But it isn't a small sum of money. It's not like he's being petty. They had you sign a promissory note because it was very clear then that you were supposed to pay them back, and then you didn't. And I've read the text where you're saying, "I'm broke now. I'll pay you." It's not like you're saying that was a gift. So you can't turn a loan into a gift. So what do you think is going on here? What is it that you feel is justifying you not paying? What do you think is going on here?
They understood my situation. You expect gifts at your wedding. You expect monetary gifts where you can pay back things that you've borrowed, and we were unable to do that. And
okay.
So they understood my situation. They agreed that a payment plan was due, that we can do a payment plan. I said, okay.
And what was the payment plan that got set up?
Very low. $25 every 2 weeks.
And you didn't do that?
My father and I, again, there's always tension. When he came, he always comes to get my son for me, probably once a month.
How old's your son?
My son is 3. So, he wants to be a grandfather to him because he wasn't a great dad to me and my brother.
Yeah, you've mentioned that.
So I allowed that.
Right.
So you want to do that? You want to live vicariously through my son? That's cool.
It's not live vicariously. It's be a grandparent.
Yeah, you want to be a grandparent. So I let that happen.
All right, and?
He came. We didn't even speak when he came. There was no tension about the loan, but he came and got my son. We didn't speak.
What was the tension about then?
It's just always tension. And to get into other things, my mom posted a picture. My mom is not internet savvy. She probably had someone else take some pictures that she had hanging on the wall in her living room. And Tracy went on my mom's page and saw the pictures.
And what was wrong with the picture?
One of them included my father. It was an old picture. It was an old picture.
So what?
There was some back and forth stuff on Facebook. That got
Between
really out of
Tracy
hand.
and who?
All the women in my family.
But why?
That's not exactly how.
Well, but why would it be at all any problem?
The picture was not a problem at all.
Then why was there back and forth? You want me to look at the Facebook post, or you just tell me what was the problem?
It was that a cousin made a very nasty comment about me, not being tech savvy. She wrote my name, and then therefore it came up in my news feed. I never would have seen the picture because I'm not friends with.
What came up in your news feed?
I have it. They have the screenshots, and there were a lot of racial slurs against me, and they hate me, and I did file a police report. It
became a huge war of words.
Okay.
Over a photo. I wanted nothing to do with it because it was foolish.
Okay. Well, you know what else is foolish? You not paying your debt. I don't understand what your defense is. Hi. Who is this person? Like, what am I looking at?
She's a third cousin or second cousin to them.
Who's saying you're always going to be number 2? You don't know where I live. You're not going to. Who's saying that? The cousin?
Yes.
And that's in response to you saying, you and your nasty comments, you're the ones who have a heart attack every time you see what we do.
Yes.
That
was my one and only.
Well, I know, but it's started the whole, it's just so unnecessary. Who cares? It's a picture of their youth. You don't erase that part of the life. But then it got really nasty.
Yes. It went over the top.
I don't give an F what y'all do, and you, Tracy, this was something the other person did. You the only one who get out of shape if you see anything with Carla and Aisha, because you're always going to be number 2. If you gave anything to say to me, you know where I live, or meet me at my aunt's house. Who's that?
I don't want to mention
that. Cousin?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find out what age. All right.
55.
All right. Where are you on all this, Dad?
Probably at work.
No, I don't mean where were you when it happened. Like, what say you about all this silliness?
So if your son stiffed you on a bill for a wedding where you loaned him money, would you sue him?
Yes, I would.
Could ruin the relationship, right?
It doesn't matter, but if he stiffs you, takes advantage of you, that's taking advantage.
Well, that is definitely a point of view. You agree?
I'm not sure. It really depends on how much money it was.
Does it really? So it has nothing to do with the principal, the money. Okay, $1,000.
It doesn't have to pay him back.
$2,500.
No.
$5,000.
Yes.
Okay, we established a price going inside the courtroom.
What happened between you and your son growing up? Do you think maybe he's right about you not being there for him?
In his eyes, maybe, but
how about in your eyes?
In my eyes, I was around, but he failed to realize, why wasn't me and his mother together? What happened with that?
No, he doesn't care, because a lot of people's parents aren't together, but both parents still parent.
Yes.
So he's just talking about your parenting.
I moved on.
Okay. And you moved on from him? Because I expect you to move on from the mom.
He could have came around, but the situation where I was, he disrespected the female I was with at that time, and he wasn't allowed in the house. And his
All right,
brother
so
could have came
is it
around.
true that you were trying to make efforts to mend that relationship with him?
Yes, I was.
How many kids do you have?
I only have 2.
Okay. And you have had a relationship with your grandchild?
I have a relationship with all my grandkids.
So are you
My
able to see this
grandkids.
grandchild? That's not standing in the way of this?
Not as much
We don't
anymore.
see our grandson as much no more.
And that has nothing to do with me.
Who's it have to do with?
My son's mother
But don't you have your son sometimes?
on the weekends.
Right, so can't they see, like, I know you guys aren't talking to each other, but the truth of the matter is you were
even when we weren't
defenseless in
speaking,
this case.
I've never stopped him from seeing her.
Right, so you should be seeing your grandkid, even if it's awkward.
should.
Because the grandkid's not at fault. Do you miss the grandkid?
Very much.
Okay, then, have at it. Make the effort.
For my father to sit here and say that he's made an attempt, he didn't.
Attempt to what?
To mend the relationship in my youth when I was a kid.
No, I actually wasn't asking about your youth. I was asking about, was he making an attempt, as you had said, to mend the relationship when all this was happening here?
No.
Well,
My
that was
father
what
could have
you said.
diffused the whole situation that happened on the internet that I didn't want anything to do with, that he probably didn't want anything to do with. But he did nothing. And my
you
mom
expect
posted the photos.
you expect him to man up and calm the situation
Man up.
down.
At least man up.
Well, you're a man too. Why don't you man up and calm the situation down between you? Why does he have to be the one
No,
to
he
get
wasn't
it?
the only one. I went to my mom, and my mom knew nothing about the thread. She knew nothing about the back and forth. Because when she posted it, that was it. I spoke to my mom about that.
Yeah.
My mom didn't know for days that it was going on. And it went on for
Well, what
days.
about your cousin, though? Did you talk to your cousin and tell her to cut it out?
I tried.
All right. Some people are better at persuading people to act civilly than other people are. Just tell you that much.
Another cousin of mine, he was on the thread as well, telling him that this is stupid.
Of course it was. It was stupid. It's the most childish thing I've ever heard. My children behave like more adults than everybody here. I agree. But part of being an adult is paying your debts. What is your defense? If you sign something that says, I know this is a loan, I'm going to pay you by X date, and then they even cut you a break and say, okay, you haven't paid us by X date, but let's put you on a payment, at least show some effort, $25 every 2 weeks, you're basically looking me in the eye and saying, yeah, but then he's not talkative or communicative, so I'm not paying him. That's your defense? That's not a defense. You know you have to pay this. So you're not helping him out. I don't see any effort from you either. We all have baggage. And then it's a conscious choice that we make at some point in our lives whether we're going to continue to carry the baggage with us or if we're going to lighten our own loads and try to move on. Sometimes we do it because it's what we want. Sometimes we do it because we think it's best for our children or our spouses. But you should do it. It's good for the soul. Apparently your son needs something from you that he doesn't feel like he's gotten or is getting. And I'm not sure it's the money. I'm stunned that his first conversation with me about this is, then he walked in, he would get my grandson, but he wouldn't even talk to me. He sounds like a little boy. But if I were you, I wouldn't be making fun of him for that. I would think, why is my son feeling so vulnerable? Just think about it, The promissory note clearly says that he's going to pay by October 31st. You didn't.
I didn't.
There's a payment plan. You didn't. And I am going to order you to pay them the $2,000 plus their court costs. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, after hearing the testimony in this family dispute, no question about it, the defendant has no defense. You're on the hook for the $2,000 one way. You okay with that? You realize
I'm
you
fine
owe
with that. Yes.
You think this experience here in this courtroom and the kind of lecture that you got from the judge or discussion from the judge might help at all?
It might. I just wanted an apology from my dad. He never gave it to me. We spoke on the phone, and he still wouldn't give me one, so.
You think you'd still be open to one if he'd give it to you?
That's on him.
But you'd accept it?
I would.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to sign a few documents outside. Now, here comes the plaintiff.
Hello.
Tracy.
Hi.
You won the case.
We did?
Okay, that helps.
Yes.
You think let me ask you, do you think this is going to help your relationship with your son at all, or is it?
It might help.
It might?
Yes, sir.
I would love for them to have a good relationship.
Well, I think everybody would agree with that.
Yes.
Well, look, give it a try, huh?
Okay.
Sounds like he's open to it.
It does. Thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Harvey?
Doug, the key to this is the promissory note. All the family stories become irrelevant.